All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are peeling back the layers of an absolutely breathtaking story tucked away right inside what we all know as the heart of the Quran, Surah Yaseen. Now, I know a lot of you probably already recite this surah all the time for its profound beauty and spiritual blessings, right? But hidden right there within its verses is a highly specific, intense narrative. We're going to dive into this epic, completely unsung story of a secret hero. I mean, it is a literal masterclass in ultimate courage. And as you'll see, it really shows how one single person's voice can echo through the halls of history forever.
But first, I really want you to imagine something for just a second. Picture yourself standing in the middle of a society where simply speaking the truth is an instant death sentence. Like, the atmosphere is just thick with hostility. The local leaders are incredibly violent, and any sense of hope or justice feels like it is completely evaporated from the streets. You're surrounded by an angry mob. For the people in our story today, this wasn't just some abstract philosophical question. This was their terrifying life-or-death reality. So let's set the scene. Section 1, a city of tyranny. To really understand the tension here, we have to look at the ancient city of Antakya, which is located in modern-day Turkey. This city was under the iron grip of a tyrannical ruler named Antiochus. And he wasn't just a passive king. He aggressively forced his entire population into strict idol worship. Any deviation from the state religion, it wasn't just frowned upon, it was utterly crushed. But out of mercy, Allah sends messengers to guide this oppressive city back to Tawheed, back to the belief in one God. So here's how it goes down. Step 1. 2 messengers arrive, identified in some tafsirs as Shimon and Yohanna. Step 2. They are immediately, aggressively rejected by the city. So step 3. A third messenger, Bulus, is sent in as reinforcement. The stage is perfectly set for a massive confrontation. Now, put yourself in the heat of that moment. These 3 messengers are standing right in the public square, looking the wealthy elite right in the eye, and essentially telling them that their immense political power and their carved idols are absolutely nothing compared to the creator of the heavens and the earth. And the elites? Well, they didn't just casually disagree. They were absolutely furious. They actually labeled the messengers a bad omen, basically blaming them for any bad luck or misfortune in the city, and then they openly threatened to stone them to death. The tension here is literally at its peak. Which brings us to Section 2, the stranger runs.
Just when it seems like all is lost and the messengers are literally about to be executed, the focus shifts to the outskirts of the city. We meet this ordinary, working-class man that traditions identify as Habib Najjar. But he's no king, he doesn't command an army, but look at the stark contrast here. On one side, you have the city's elites, completely blinded by their own ego, deeply entrenched in power, and violently defensive of the status quo. And on the other side, you have the stranger, clear-sighted, living a simple life, but driven by this pure, undeniable urgency. The heavy, arrogant weight of the city's leadership is about to collide head-on with the pure-hearted momentum of one single guy.
The Quran captures this so beautifully, saying he came running from the furthest part of the city. Think about the physicality of that for a second. He didn't casually stroll down to the town square to see what the commotion was all about. No, he ran. He sprinted. Because he knew the messengers were in grave, immediate danger. He understood the lethal stakes, and he knew that staying silent, just hiding in his safe, quiet home on the outskirts, it simply wasn't an option.
So he arrives at the square. Section 3, one against a city. When Habib bursts into that hostile public square entirely alone, mind you, he doesn't launch into some complex theology. He just hits them with incredibly grounded logic. He says, why wouldn't you follow men who ask for no reward? I mean, usually when someone offers you life-changing advice for free, you instinctively look for the catch, right? But he's telling them to look at the motives. These messengers aren't trying to steal your money, they aren't trying to overthrow your political seats. They're offering the ultimate truth, and they're doing the whole shebang entirely for free. But Habib doesn't just stop at logically defending them. He actually steps fully into the line of fire. He makes this ultimate, fearless declaration to the entire mob. He shouts, "Indeed, I have believed in your Lord, so listen to me." He openly aligns himself with the exact message that the city is actively trying to destroy. It is just a stunning display of bravery. One ordinary man from the edges of town, standing tall, completely unapologetic, and putting his life entirely on the line for his faith. But tragically, the crowd, they're just too far gone. Blinded by their rage and their arrogance, they completely ignore his logic. The historical sources describe a brutal, heartbreaking climax here. The mob swarms him, and without any hesitation, they violently attack Habib Najjar,
and he is martyred right there in the dusty streets of Antakya. The hero who literally ran to save others is struck down by the very people he was desperately trying to reason with. And this is where the narrative shifts entirely. Section 4, the spiritual docu-drama. If this were a movie, the camera would linger on the tragedy, the violence, the despair of his death, right? But the Quranic narrative executes this awe-inspiring hard cut. The very moment his soul leaves his body, the timeline completely shifts. Instantly, the dust and the violence of Antakya are replaced by the ultimate divine welcome. Qila udkhulil jannah. Enter paradise. His reward is instantaneous. And honestly, even more incredible than that is his reaction. Upon actually seeing his reward, he doesn't gloat. He doesn't curse his murderers. He simply says, "I wish my people knew how my Lord has forgiven me and placed me among the honored." I mean, wow. This is the ultimate sign of a true believer. Even after a brutal execution, his heart holds absolutely no hatred. His only wish is that his people could see the truth so that they could be saved too. And this brilliantly illustrates the consequence of the city's actions. By killing a man who literally only wanted to save them, the people of Antakya basically sealed their own divine decree. Allah didn't need to send down massive armies or prolong sieges to defeat this tyrannical kingdom. The sources tell us it took only a single sayi, a powerful blast or shout from the heavens. Effortlessly, instantly, the city that felt so wealthy, powerful, and invincible was silenced forever. Bringing it all together now. Section 5, the archive secret. So what does the stranger from the outskirts actually teach us today, centuries after the dust has settled in Antakya? Well, first, truth doesn't need a majority to win. The elites had all the numbers, sure, but they were entirely wrong. Second, standing alone on the side of what is right is never a losing game, even if it feels absolutely terrifying in the moment. Habib Najjar looked like he lost in the public square, but he won the ultimate victory. And finally, courage echoes through history forever. He was just one person, yet his voice is preserved for billions to read, recite, and learn from until the end of time. I really want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Have you ever had to stand up for what's right when absolutely no one else was backing you up? When the whole room was against you? Did you stay silent, or did you find that inner courage? Think about Habib Najjar the next time you find yourself standing alone. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Take some time to reflect on your own courage, keep seeking out the truth, and I'll catch you next time as we uncover more fascinating realities.